Honestly, by this year's standards, that's a pretty normal L. Avs lose to the Montreal Canadiens 4-3. I'm not even that frustrated a day later with this hockey game. The Avs went into this game extremely depleted, literally once again playing a defenseman as a forward and Caleb Jones on your fourth line. They're just a little bit beat up right now, and they kind of don't have the horses to do things consistently. With that being said, the Avs' top players balled out. They gave them a chance to win this game. They just ran into a few too many problems on the way. The biggest of which, the Avs is giving the entire league Stockholm Syndrome when it comes to leads. They've come back a whole bunch of times this season, and when you include tonight, they've blown a whole lot of leads this season. This game starts with a power play goal. After getting set up in the offensive zone for the Avs here, they do a good job on the power play of working low, high, back out, back and forth. And as McKinnon and Makar are working this, I love this from Druin. He just drifts down into the middle of the ice. It doesn't look like it's anything consequential, but he finds himself a location that allows him to get a tip on a puck here and put it on net, as Makar's vision is just that good. Now, the play doesn't work out initially, and it takes Ross Colton 2 tries at this puck net front, but you get the puck to a dangerous area, you're going to finish eventually. The Avs get production out of both Druin and Colton on this play. Those are essentially the Avs' depth-producing forwards in this game. They don't have really anyone else deeper than that you can realistically expect production out of. Yeah, that's just the reality of where Ryan Johansson's at and the limits of players like Logan O'Connor and Andrew Cogliano. So, this should be a good sign, but the Avs' biggest problem tonight ended up being special teams. Yes, they score that one power play goal, but they fail to capitalize on multiple other chances throughout this game, including a 5-on-3, and ultimately give away 2 power play goals to Montreal, the first of which ties the game in the first period. Avs defending on the penalty kill right here, right now, the Avs are defending well. They're in the passing lanes, they're taking the men, everything is well defended. But as this puck comes back up to Suzuki, you're going to see a miscommunication. Both Devon Taves and Andrew Cogliano read the man in the circle as the man that needs to be defended. And it's a decent look off by Suzuki. He is looking that way. But they can't both commit to that defensive play. One of the two, probably Cogliano, if we're being honest, he's the man on the backside, needs to remember the backdoor player. Neither of them do. The passing lane opens right up. Suzuki throws it over to Slavkovsky, and Georgiev actually makes a great initial save. But because both of these players read the man in the high circle, there is now no one in position to help with rebounds for the Avs. So a second chance opportunity pops out, and it's in your net. I think the Avs PK has been a little bit sloppy, but I am willing to write this one off. This is a thing that happens. Ebbs and flows of an NHL season. Sometimes your PK struggles, you work on it, and you figure it out as the season goes on. One bad night, whatever. I can move on from that. For the second period, it's been a while since I've gotten to say this, but Cale Makar is just better. There's not a ton to this play. After an initial shot that misses high, the Avs are able to recollect and get it back high in the zone. Montreal may be getting a little bit caught too deep here, but nothing too crazy. They're keeping McKinnon to the perimeter. This is a good job by both of these players. McKinnon drags 2 people with him. Gerard drags the third man to the side, opening up a nice shooting lane for Makar, who does get to wind up on one. You don't see this very often. You combine a wind up with Mikko getting to a good spot on the ice, and this one ends up in the back of the net. Jake Allen never sees it. Yes, Makar is that good. Yes, the Avs' best players have given them a second lead in this game. And of course, you win as a team, you lose as a team. But in Colorado's case, this second tying goal from Montreal is a problem we've seen far too much of. Look, earlier in this play, there was a bad turnover from McKinnon. Absolutely. But I just cannot care about that because this is a play that should never end up in the back of your net. Right here, you have a player on their backhand with no angle. Georgiev moves to get up against his post so he doesn't get beat short side. This is all fine. All he has to do is keep this puck in front of him. And instead, the first opportunity falls in behind his stick, and the second whack at a puck that never ever works in the NHL trickles this puck into the net behind him. I don't need to say it. We all know what's going on there. So you're 2-2 going into the third. This is a good quality hockey game, and the Avs do that thing where they make their life harder than it needs to be. Remember that second power play goal I talked about? Yeah, it comes early in the third. When on the penalty kill, the Avs defenders tend to chase a lot higher than most teams. You're going to see Devon, who's left with a man down low by the goal and the puck carrier coming out into the circle, opts to fully chase up high, instead of having Kiviranta, the forward, come back and help and giving up the higher part of the zone. They have their defensemen come out. This leaves a whole lot of room for Cole Caulfield to work with down in deep. He's a very good shooter, and when you allow him to take 1 or 2 steps out, he can score from a tough angle like that one. I'm not going to nitpick that goal too hard because I think there are just other bigger problems going on, like don't take that stupid penalty. So despite the Avs now trailing for the first time in this game, they stay in the game, they stay effective, and they're able to get that tie back. My video was a little corrupted here, so I missed part of this play, but Mikko gains the zone. He's able to get his eyes up and find Devon Toews cross ice. That's all there really is to this play. It was a nice breakout by Makar to hit Mikko, but that's all that you missed. This pass is outrageously good, and Devon, with the changeup, makes it work. You now have a handful of points from your defense. You have your stars with points. You have what can reasonably be considered your quality depth forwards with points. The Avs really have done everything they can here with the lineup they're working with. You just can't win every night by having to score 4 goals, especially when you're missing a bunch of your goal scorers. And is this a game against a weak team that makes this loss super frustrating? Definitely. Is this a loss that comes in the last 5 minutes of the game the Avs fail to even get a point out of? Yeah, that sucks too. And boy, let me tell you, the way that last goal happens, that's also annoying. The Avs are going to give up a shot from the high slot area here. This isn't great, but they have men in the box. They're packing the area, and they're able to block the initial chance. So ultimately, should be fine. But then chaos ensues, a bouncing puck, and the Avs just aren't able to find it. As 3 guys collapse towards this puck, they're not able to do anything effective. And that becomes a problem when the puck ends up slipping towards the Avs net, multiple kicks at it from Montreal. Manson is involved in the play, at least. He's trying to make something happen. Sam Girard is just standing here, and he just continues to stand there as the puck slips right through his legs, and he just has no idea. And then you get bad tracking of the puck on the backside from Georgiev, which allows a little chip backhand to go in. And it ends up being a wild game where the Avs make one more mistake than the Canadiens. There's not a ton for me to say here. Most of the issues in this game are already well known, like the goaltending, are an issue of a random spurt of injuries and problems that the Avs have had, and they're going to get Lehkonen and Miles Wood back very soon, so that will help solve the forward lack of depth. And some nights, you just struggle a little bit, like with their penalty kill. This game is what it is, and it's extremely frustrating. But big picture, the Avs have been playing some of their best hockey of the year, and they have an opportunity to reset the very next night against Ottawa. And I just can't continue to be as upset as I am with the Avs goaltending, or I'll lose my mind. So I'm just going to have to live with that. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo and Baguette, because French. Get it? Yeah. You want the baguette? You love the food? Is that why you hang out? Okay. Here you go. Have a little bread.